In this video, we're going to take a look at a few of our wood siding assemblies. So the first thing we'll do is go to our estimating tab, and we're going to drag over a few of the siding, BidPro siding location folders. So these folders help to organize your takeoff, and they also apply a subgroup heading for your material to be organized in the materials by location report. So we've got some custom lists that come with the plugin that we've went ahead and set up for you with some different ways that you can organize your siding material. So we're going to do one folder called siding. We'll drag and drop another over for exterior trim. We'll drag and drop another one over for cornice, and we'll do one more for flashing. Okay, so we'll go back to the Home tab. We'll select our BidPro siding assemblies. So the plugin comes with assemblies for wood siding, fiber cement, and composite siding, as well as vinyl siding and trims. And then also flashing assembly and a few other miscellaneous assemblies. We got a point count assembly that you can duplicate and set up for any kind of a point count takeoff that you need to do. Alright, so we'll get into our wood, fiber, cement, composite folder, into our siding folder, and we've got 3 different main siding assemblies here, one for lap siding, one for shake and shake panels, and one for vertical panel siding. Again, you can duplicate these assemblies and create as many different assemblies as you want that are preset for specific products or material sizes. You just rename the assembly for whatever you've pre-selected, and you can pretty quickly set yourself up a pretty good library of assemblies for different sidings and trims that you use over and over again. Okay, so we'll go ahead and launch our lap siding assembly. Oh, there we go. Okay, so our siding assemblies again are set up very similar to the rest of the trades that we've developed for PlanSwift. So you can name this assembly whatever you want to name it. We've got all of our assemblies have a bid amount per foot or per square feet that you can use for your bid report. You can set your material waste here. So we'll go to the siding tab. Here you can select your actual siding type. Let's say we're going to do spruce lap, and we'll set the panel width. The siding panel width is 8 1/4, and the panel length inches, and the panel length is 12 feet. And then we can also set our vertical exposure. So for an 8 1/4 piece of siding, our vertical exposure we'll leave at 7 inches. And then we can put a description in as well that will show in the description column in the materials by location report. And then if we want wall wrap, then we can pick that up in the wall wrap tab. Again, with any of our assemblies, any of the materials that you don't need, you can just select NA and it will basically turn that material off. So here we can select our Tyvek, house wrap, our roll size, how many wrap layers we need, and then also Tyvek tape. And we're going to select, if we go to our folder drop down here, here's the 4 folders that we put in our estimating tab. So we want to put this in the siding folder. Click OK. We'll just go around and do a quick little bit of takeoff here for our siding. Okay. Alright, so now if we want to back out our openings, we can right click, select subtract from section, and go through and back out our windows. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is pick up start picking up some of our trim. So we'll go back over here into our wood folder. We'll open up our trim folder, and we've got a wood linear trim assembly that again you can duplicate and preset as many different trim types as you want depending on whatever you frequently use. We're going to call this 1x6 corner trim, and again we can put in an amount per foot for our bid report. We'll set our line width to 6, and then we'll select our actual trim type. Again, all of your drop downs come from custom lists in the list tab that you can go to and add materials, make changes. You can completely rebuild the list if you want. Alright, so let's say we're going to use 1x6 Eastern White Cedar. We want our trim material length. We want to get it out of 16 footers, and we can put a description of window trim in. Go over and take off our corners real quick. Okay, now let's get some 1x4 trim for our windows. So we'll call this 1x4 window trim. We'll leave our line width at 4 inches. 25 cents per foot as a bid amount, which is just a random number. Alright, so we'll select 1x4 Eastern White Cedar. It's going to be window trim as a description. We'll get it out of 16 footers. So you just go around. Now the one thing that I forgot to do, if we go back to our estimating tab, we would put these corner takeoffs under, we're going to change this description to corner. I should have selected the exterior trim folder when I was doing the takeoff with the assembly, but if we forget to do that, all you have to do is go to the estimating tab and just drag and drop those materials into your exterior trim folder. Okay, let's say we've got some 1x8 trim here that we need to capture, so we'll call this 1x8 trim. Change our line width to 8 inches. And we'll select 1x8 Eastern White Cedar out of 16 footers. We'll just call that trim. Okay. So we can go through and, you know, pick up as many different trim sizes as we need to. Okay, let's take a look at the, well, let's go ahead and pick up a piece of flashing real quick. We can go down here to our flashing assembly. We'll call this window flashing. Again, we can put in an amount per foot if we like for our bid. And we'll just keep the default here, aluminum roll, 6-inch, 50-foot rolls, description of window flashing. Click OK, and we can go through here and, you know, take off our anywhere we need flashing. Okay, and finally we'll look at our soffit and fascia assembly. Okay, so here again you can name the assembly whatever you want. Got your bid amount per foot. Here we'll set the soffit width. We'll leave it at 24 inches for now. And you can set your line width and your waste percentage as well. So we've got two different fascia boards that you can select if you've got a two-piece fascia. Again, these are all coming from the custom list that you can modify or change. We've got two different siding options for the wood soffit. We can do either a panel soffit or a TNG soffit. So if we were going to do a panel soffit, again, we could select whatever kind of plywood we're going to use, 4x8 material size. And so if we're going to use the panel soffit, we won't need the tongue and groove soffit, so we just select NA and it'll filter that out. And then again here we've got two different vent options. We've got a continuous soffit vent and then individual vents. So we'll go with the continuous vent. go ahead and turn off the individual vents with the NA. And then we have also two more different trim types, freeze trim types, that you can pick up as well if you need that in your overhang assembly. So we'll click OK, do a quick takeoff of our overhang. Alright, now we'll jump over to our reports and see what we got. Well, before I do that, I keep forgetting to use these different folder locations. So our flashing here would go into the flashing folder, so I'll drag and drop that over. And then our wood, soffit, and fascia should have gone into the cornice folder. Again, when you start your assembly down at the bottom before you click OK and start doing your takeoff, you can select which folder you want your material to go into. And you'll see how that folder corresponds with these subgroups in your report. So if we look at our materials by location report, from the takeoff that we did, we've got it sort of organized by groups of kind of categories of the material and what it's used for. So for our siding, you can see where we picked up our 8¼ inch by 12 foot spruce lap. We need 63 pieces. We've got our wall wrap and our wall wrap tape. It looks like we left some trim in the siding, so this 1x8 trim, we can click on it, drag and drop it into exterior trim. So when we go back and look, we'll see that now we only have the siding material under siding. It's calculated how many pieces. Here's all of our exterior trim, our 1x4 window trim, our 1x6 corner trim, and our 1x8 trim. So we need, gives us a count for each length of trim we need there. Here's our cornice material. 4x8 sheets of soffit plywood, we need 3. And then we got our fascia board and freeze board trim and our continuous soffit vents. 8-foot pieces of soffit vent, we need 6 of those. And our flashing, of course, we just need 1 roll with the aluminum flashing for the windows. So then when we look at our consolidated report, it just creates one consolidated list that could be used as a purchase order or that you can send out to vendors for pricing. And then our bid report is going to organize your bid by your location folders as well. So we can see where it calculates our bid amounts for us. We got 401 square feet, that 50 cents comes out to 201, and then the breakdown just gives us a breakdown of our bid. I didn't set up a markup percentage when I set this job up, so it's at 0, but when you set each new job up, you'll have the option to put in a markup percentage, and it will add that to your bid as well.